Hi everybody, it's Sandy Allnock, Prima Ribbonista for May Arts, and I have a fortune cookie card for you today. I have to confess that one of my very favorite parts of going to Asian restaurants is getting fortune cookies. And not only the fortune inside, but the cookie itself is so delicious. So this stamp set I just had to use from Lawn Fawn. It's so cute. And of course, tie it up with some May Arts ribbon. Let's get started on the card.
The supplies we'll need for this card are going to be a black card base, and it's one cut long way. I've got my Lawn Fawn paper, Lawn Fawn stamps, a little pair of scissors for fussy cutting, a hole punch, and this one's just a small circle. You can use different kinds of hole punches, and a couple of Copic markers to color with. And this beautiful silk ribbon. This is just the yummiest stuff ever, and it works great for an Asian themed card like this one is. I'm going to start with coloring the images with the Copic markers. I've got them both stamped. I'm going to fussy cut them out so I can go right over the edges, and I'm not going to bother myself with trying to stay within them for that reason. So I have my base coat down to the lightest color, and now I'm putting a little bit of a darker color in the places where there's shadows. And you'll see how this works out. I'm not going all the way to the edge on that forefront side, but I'm going to blend it out a little bit more with this slightly warmer brown. And then I'm going to go over top of the whole thing again with the base coat. That's going to blend all of it together. With Copics, they blend really well when the paper's really wet. So I'm adding a little more of that warmth, and then I'm going to go over the entire thing and just soften it all out so it looks like a real fortune cookie. Now I'm going to color the box. I want that to be in cool colors in contrast to the warm colors for the cookie itself. So I'm going with my C series, the cool gray series. And I'm just going to do the C3 for the back side of this because the light's going to come from the opposite side. And a little bit at the bottom so I can blend that out and make just a really soft gradation from the bottom to the top. Just coloring over top of it, flicking the marker back and forth. This is super easy to color. I love these little cute Lawn Fawn images because they're just really simple shapes and there's not a whole lot of fussy detail. You can color them pretty quickly. So going back in with my C3 again, adding a little bit of shadow from where that handle is, and now I'm going to add a little tiny increase inside, you know, when the takeout box gets darker toward the center. Just going to add more shadows and then soften those out a little bit. So the coloring's done. How easy and quick was that? And I'm going to speed this way up. We're going to do the fastest fussy cutting ever. Just talk real quickly about when you do fussy cut anything. These images, as they're easy to color, they're also easy to cut out because they're simple shapes. But I turn the paper as I cut, and that tends to make an easier cut. I also use the edge of the paper. If I tried to just keep turning the paper and not cut all the way through the edge, it would be a lot harder. So here I can just do straight snips if I keep going in from the outside. Okay, now we're going to assemble the card. I've got my card base, and it's cut the long way, so it's going to open on the short side. And I've got a template already made with a piece of white cardstock. I've got my placement of where I want that notch punched in, and here's just some tips on how to make it even. So I'm going to use that as a template, mark it, and punch. Then I'm going to flip it over to the other side. That's going to give me the same location for that punch. And so I just punch that again. Now you can use different sizes of things. You can use square notches. You can use shaped notches. You might even try some nestabilities and see if you can get some of those to work. They could make really interesting notch shapes. And those could also do different things with your ribbon. If you use a really wide ribbon and a really fancy shape, you might get something interesting going on there. So the card base is ready. Now I have this piece, and I've got it layered already. You don't have to layer it, but I wanted to make sure I pulled out some of the red spots that are in that paper with the red border that I'm putting on it. So it's 4 3/4 by 3. And like I said, depending on what notches you cut, you may have to change the size of that. That's going to be the same size for the liner that I'm going to put on the inside so that they match. So my silk ribbon, all I have to then do is tie it. That notch is going to hold it in place. There's no adhesive necessary to get this whole thing to stay together, except I'll show you something I'm going to do with the adhesive in a moment. That's an optional thing. So I'm just tying a really simple double knot. I love this silk ribbon. I don't know why I didn't get more of it, but I think I'm going to be getting all the colors because it's just yummy stuff. So I just can fussy cut, fussy set up, tweak, pull on the ribbon, figure out exactly where I want it. And what I've done here is just put a little bit of Stamp Runner adhesive to hold the bow in place so the little pieces of ribbon land where I want them to on the card. So now I'm going to add my little takeout box. I'm tucking it in here, and I could float it out somewhere on the card, but I wanted to create a focal point on this, so kind of tucking my images in together. Now I'm going to take the cookie, and I want to add its fortune to it. I'm going to put a little adhesive on the back because I'm going to take the fortune that's already stamped and cut out. This banner is also part of the stamp set, and all of these wavy sentiments. And now it's just going to stick in there inside that little notch that I've cut. I'll put some dimensional adhesive on it, place it in there, and this is just so simple. I'm going to tack the end down. How easy is that? So here's a close-up of how those elements come together. That banner just fits right into the cookie. And here's the whole finished card. It just feels really elegant. That silk ribbon adds a whole lot of elegance to this card. And here's what the inside ended up looking like. I just put a layer. You can do one on both sides if you want, but the ribbon does show on the inside.
Thank you so much for taking a moment to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, please click that like button down below. You can hit subscribe for more great ideas from May Arts. My link is right here as well, so you can click that if you want to go watch my channel. And leave me a comment in the doobly-doo and tell me what your favorite ever fortune was in a fortune cookie. I had one that I had taped to my dashboard for the longest time until I got rid of that truck. I should probably have kept that. But it said, "Your wildest dreams will soon come true." And I thought that was pretty cool to be on the lookout for all the time. Alright, have a great day everybody. Bye now.